And here we are. And I'm going to introduce the thing this time because I've been making C-Red do all of the work for the last several episodes. So here I am. I'm gonna take the driver's seat for just a bit. Welcome into another episode of the Power Hour with Steve and C-Red. And we're here because our other show is on hiatus, and we are not willing to say die. We are going to keep doing this as long as we can, as long as you people keep watching, and we appreciate you watching last week's show. Now, tonight, we had a little bit of a programming change because of some last-minute scheduling conflicts. So Brittany from Elevate Pro Wrestling will not be with us tonight, but she said she's sorry, and she'll be back to do something with us in 2021, which will be very exciting since they are, of course, via the good man John Bullard, who is here tonight as our special guest, has put us in conjunction with Elevate Pro down in Louisiana. So the pipeline for wrestlers traveling to and fro and working in harmony is going to be a reality in 2021, assuming the world catches up with us. So that's something that we will talk about a little bit here tonight. But on behalf of me and C-Red, I want to welcome back to the program after a while. It is the architect of Chicagoland Championship Wrestling. It is a man that has done more in 2020, I think, than any other wrestling promoter out there, or anybody in entertainment for that matter, because John Bullard has been everywhere. So welcome, John Bullard, and thank you for taking time to sit with us this evening.
Hey, thank you for having me, Steve. It's good to see Red.
Uh-oh.
And, he's calling timeout.
There's a timeout on the field. Red?
Dude, is your Wi-Fi, who you got? Because you was breaking up for a second. I'm just saying.
You did, yeah.
See, it ain't just me. See?
Okay, well, I will look into that as we move. Let me know if it gets better or if it stays bad.
I hope you freeze and don't, but that's just
No love lost between me and C-Red.
Wow.
See, there he goes. See, it just happened again.
Did I freeze?
Mr. Bullard, did he freeze?
You
Okay,
froze,
well,
Steve.
I'm working on it. So
Okay.
I will, C-Red, while I'm working on my technical problems here, why don't you ask Mr. Bullard some questions? I know, you've got a lot to say and a lot to ask, and John's got a lot of things he can
Hell,
tonight.
I just want to know when we leaving. Hell, Louisiana, Germany, London, Puerto Rico, Mexico State. Man, when I can pack my bag right now. Matter of fact, I don't even need to pack a bag. I just leave it like I am right now and meet you at the airport. I got a passport.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of us going to have passports or get those pretty soon. They don't. So, yeah, once COVID lifts, we're actually going to have a lot of traveling outside of doing our shows here in Chicago and Indiana area. We're going to have a lot of traveling with, of course, Louisiana. Also, could talk about the partnership in Mexico City with Guerreros Aztecas Wrestling and Lucha Libre Boom. Actually, December 5th, which is just a few days away, we're actually making history.
I don't speak Spanish.
It's going to be an amazing show. 3 promotions working together to provide the fans in Mexico and all over the world an international showcase. And also coming up pretty soon, guys, we're going to have stars from Mexico coming up to Chicagoland Championship Wrestling with our partnership with Guerreros Aztecas Wrestling to showcase authentic, real Lucha Libre for the American fan base. So exciting times indeed.
First of all, I'm going to be honest. We both have an acquaintance that has wrestled down there.
Yes.
And I realized once I watched footage of his matches down there, it is totally nothing like American wrestling as far as the fans.
Yeah, the fans in Mexico are rowdy. Like there's loud Americans, and then there's the Mexican wrestling fans that are just rowdy.
Well, that's what I tell people, and I just did an interview with DDJ, and he asked me about the fans in Pennsylvania. And I told him everything that you saw at the ECW arena, how they got, that was legit. That I don't know what it is in the water in Philly, but they are hardcore super fans.
Yeah.
You know, and so when I watched this footage of GAW, I was like, well, hell, they took that to 20.
Up there.
So, you know, I'm not going to lie, you know, and you've heard the stories of, you know, wrestlers going down and the bad stories, I should say.
Of course.
You know, I don't care. Now, I'm upset that you say it's December 5th and it's December 1st. You ain't give me no time to pack a bag. I gotta go get it. I gotta go shave. I'm just saying. But here's the big thing that, and I know this is kind of off topic, but I just saw it. You said tomorrow, right? In 24 hours. Tomorrow.
In 24
right?
hours. 24 hours.
What's
Chicagoland Championship Wrestling debuts on Amazon Prime.
Woo! You hear it here first, ladies and gentlemen. No other show did that for you. We just did that.
Right here.
The Stephen Red Power Hour. We did that. Nobody else. Oh, I'm sorry, Steve.
Oh, I love it. I love it when C-Red gets amped up, even when he laughs at me when I'm in peril. That's good for television. It's good, entertaining stuff. And when C-Red's excited, the world is excited. And
let that stuff go. Let that stuff go.
Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is a great platform, and I know you know it's been longer than we expected for a number of reasons to get there. I can't imagine the effort put in by your wife getting the captioning done to meet Amazon Prime's criteria. Now, you know, the wrestling show, you know, being in October, you know, Xavier getting the footage together, us re-recording commentary, and you know, there have been some stumbling blocks along the way. I mean, the debut Chicagoland Championship Wrestling looks great. It sounds great. Everybody that's seen it has raved about it. Why are you shaking your head?
That commentary sucked, at least for the first match. The very first match. The first match that people get to see in the commentary sucks.
Well, we'll try to clean that up, Red, and make it better the next time around, assuming you still have somebody to manage in April. But that's
First of all, don't get in my business. Second of all, let me say, Mr. Bullard, okay, I'm a real skeptic about watching my shows that I'm on, because I'm a nitpicker. I'm so picky about myself and who I manage, or if I'm wrestling, who I'm wrestling. I'm very picky, so I rarely don't watch my footage now. So the buzz came out on Fight TV. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen it, it is also on Fight TV.
Yes.
Watch it. Instantly, as it came on, I was caught. I was hooked from the very opening, just like that. Why? The production that you have done and the people you have surrounded us, I should say, because let's be honest, the three of us are part of Chicagoland Championship Wrestling.
Yes, very much so. You guys, I consider both you guys very much part of the office. You know, this is the truth.
So to watch this, I was like, damn. I'm gonna be honest. I was just like, damn, like, okay. This. Have you ever watched a show and 5 minutes into it, you ask yourself, why am I watching this crap?
That's every Monday night.
You know what?
And sometimes on Wednesdays too. And sometimes on Wednesday nights too on AEW, I'll be like, what is this?
No,
You know?
it's rare for me if they miss. It's rare.
Yeah.
For me. Mondays, I am literally now wondering what will I watch when football season ends.
Yeah.
On Mondays, because Mondays is so unbearable to watch. And maybe my own opinion is it's because they got 3 hours versus 2 hours on Friday. So you get more wrestling. The storylines are way better. And that's just me. But to watch our debut show and to see it, and I was like, I loved everything. The music, the intros, I was tripping myself just because I thought, guess what? The promo we shot, okay, it's forgot about.
Nope.
And boom, there it pops
right
back up. And it's like, oh my God, like, wow. And then you incorporated his promo, and he didn't say nothing. He just kicked the hell out of that damn pad. You know, but that Asian was she's still hot. Anyway, on subject. And if you watching, anyway, the production, the voice quality, and I'm again, okay, I didn't like how he called the first match. Whatever he talked about. Even the commentary was spot on. It was entertaining. The show was entertaining. There was excitement. It was everything that I wanted for almost 3 hours. So again, I know I already sang your praises on here. You weren't here that night, but I'm gonna sing them to you in your face. It was an awesome job.
Thank you.
You know, and you kind of asked earlier, what, Steve, have I ever seen this before? No, I haven't. Understand, I've been around.
Well, many places for many years.
But
a lot of bigger companies most guys will never be at.
True, but here's the funny part. I was an original fan of ROH before everybody caught wind of it. So yeah, they were in the same they were in the same gym. But I remember maybe 200 seats, maybe.
Yeah.
You know.
You're talking about the Murphy Rec Center in Philadelphia.
No, I'm talking about here in Chicago when they first came.
Yeah. The first Chicago shows. Yes, I do remember that.
I was at every show. The first show, I'm not gonna lie, I paid for a bleacher seat, and I said, never again will I sit on hard bleachers and watch a wrestling show. Ever. No. But I started to notice how the backdrop moved further and further and further back. Why? Because the crowd kept growing and growing and growing. I have that funny feeling. I'm not comparing us to Ring of Honor, ladies and gentlemen. No shape or form. We are our own entity, Chicagoland Championship Wrestling. But damn, I honestly feel like we walked around the entire ring with gas cans, and John walked out and lit a damn match. Because whether you like us, whether you hate us, we're here.
Yeah.
We're here.
We're not going anywhere.
And we put on a damn good product.
It's important to note what C-Red touched on early on, the promos, okay? The fact that no promo, no matter when it was shot, how small or how big, they all found their way onto the show, which gives additional storyline to the matches that we're doing. So the Miles Mercer Yo-Yo match had, little vignettes to give people a hint and an idea. Okay, well, Miles is part of something a little bigger. Yo-Yo is trained, and he's got a lot of mixed martial art background. And when that match happened, C Red was obviously very present based on the storyline in the promo video. And then Yoya striking with the knees, very mixed martial arts in the way he did his attack. So I think that, coupled with us knowing, being able to embellish the stories on commentary somewhat, that gives the fans not only direction, but it keeps the story moving forward. See, that's the best part of stories well told, is you don't languish in one spot for too long. You move along. The story, they say it's a real page turner. Well, that's what wrestling needs to be. It needs to be a page turner. You don't want to spend too much time in one subject. You got to keep moving and keep moving. That's what turns 3 hours into feeling like 20 minutes, which is kind of what I experienced when I watched it for the first time on Powered for TV. And what I like is the partnerships that John is creating. And you have Brittany and her people at Elevate Pro interrupting their broadcast to plug us, to say, hey, these guys are great, we're working with them. So now the people in New Orleans are like, well, let's watch this on Powered for TV or Fight TV or pretty soon Amazon. So now when wrestlers travel, when Miles Mercer and C Red travel to New Orleans to work at Elevate Pro, if the day comes, well, these people are going to know who you are and what you're doing there. And I think that makes the gap between New Orleans and Chicago that much closer, because we're going to see their people on their shows. So I like the fact that it's a partnership that has given us a conduit from Chicago to New Orleans, where our guys are going to go down there and be treated well. Their people are going to come up here and be treated well. Talent exchanges don't happen anymore. It's all independent contracts everywhere you look. This is a great thing for the business, John.
Steve, when I first got involved with wrestling television, was in the state of Kentucky. And I was very blessed to have Jim White as a mentor. Jim White, of course, was an old territory wrestler from back in the 1950s to 60s. He was also the original mentor of Jerry Lawler. They were Southern State Tag Champions on 7 different occasions. And I would talk to Jim every show to pick his brain. And he would always talk about the territory days, how the territories, when it was a benefit for promoters and wrestlers alike. Because say you have a wrestler that you've done everything with, everything. There's nothing else for him to do. What can you do? You send him down south. Someone down south will come up north. And it helps reevaluate them. It helps re-energize them. Gives them a new place to go work at. It helps build them. Maybe they could work on a new gimmick or a new character that no one's never seen before. And it's that, trial by fire type thing. But it builds that platform. That's why me and Brittany, also Benjamin Woods, who works right along with Brittany, who's an amazing friend of mine, we created that idea of building a territory with not only wrestlers from New Orleans, but also wrestlers from Chicago to travel. I'm also currently working with, of course, our partners in Mexico, with Guerreros Aztecas Wrestling and Lucha Libre Boom. It also helps in American wrestlers to get the almost every American wrestler has that dream bucket, a list where it's like wrestle in Japan, wrestle in Mexico, wrestle in Europe, wrestle on television. Every American wrestler has that dream.
Every one of them.
So that's one of the things I'm doing, is trying to help guys have that bucket list. You know what? I wrestled in Mexico. I got to wrestle in New Orleans. I got my friendship with Ricky Fuji and 2AW in Japan. I used to be very hands-on with a lot of the Japanese offices back in 2012 through 2014. I was a gaijin scout for American wrestlers to help send them over. And so I built a lot of friendship over the years with a lot of those guys. So when we develop also with Japan, we're working on doing, hopefully once COVID lifts, a Japanese camp here in the United States. So Ricky can teach guys who always wanted the dream to go wrestle in Japan to have the chance to actually learn what the dojo system is like, and then see and evaluate the talent to bring talent over to Japan to wrestle for 2AW, which was formerly Kaientai Dojo, which ran by Taka Michinoku of WWE fame. We're also got our partnership in England with both, the Powered Forward TV network, which is a fantastic guys, Richard Crowhurst, John Scott, and the guy we like to call the Johners, uh, amazing fellows. The entire staff on hand has been nothing but a wonderful group of people to work with. But we also have DNA Pro Wrestling out of England that we're going to be doing partnerships with as well. So there's another bucket list. Wrestle in England. And the English crowd, just like the Mexican wrestling crowd, those British fans are really rowdy too. As you see, he's already getting his jacket on and getting prepared.
No, I'm grabbing my bag. I'm about to leave. Let's go. Let's go.
But this is just the beginning of the partnerships we're forming. There's more coming, and my whole goal is this: with the TV shows that we're airing, the schedules that we're keeping, I'm trying to keep a very light schedule on the guys. That way, they get the benefit of being on television, being seen all across the world. Fight TV airs in 130 countries. Think about that. 130 countries that show airs in. People from countries that we never even heard of will have a chance to watch us and go, I like that C-Red. I like that Miles Mercer. That Eric Larkin guy, man, Jackson P. Larkin.
Concrete
he's
fist.
got a concrete fist. Braven Fett's got those kicks. Yoga's a escape artist. You got like all these new wrestlers that people may not have heard of in a huge world is now being seen by everybody. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. And get that opportunity. And so I'm doing my best to keep a light schedule for everybody. We could get it light schedule, maximum benefit. If that makes sense.
It does.
Less is more. This is my favorite mentality of wrestling. Less is more. And so with that going, this opens up doors for our talent, and that's not just our wrestlers, but also guys like yourself, Steve, Red, Michael Allen, that may want to travel and do shows in other areas. It's open world, and we have business partners that are the people I pick too are quality people. It's not just quantity; it's quality. You can give me 50 promotions, I don't care about. Give me 10 promotions that are top quality, well-trained talents, ran by business people with common sense and business sense that knows how to run a good ship, and they take care of their crew. That's what I look for in partnerships. I'm not looking for a shindy show. I'm not looking for shady promoters that are going to burn talent who drive 8 hours one way. I really investigate into all the people who come to work with us as partners to make sure when people go there, they're in safe hands.
I don't ride. I don't. I fly. No, I'm just that's my personal preference. Seriously.
No, I don't blame you. I'm a flight guy myself if I have to be.
I love to drive.
Trust me.
I drive everywhere.
After being in a car with Marche, Willie, and Jazz, no more.
Well, that's like the Bad News Bears and braking training. So you could have put a camera in that car.
Dude, the stories, trust me, one day we'll sit down and we can do a whole show just on our stories.
There's not one person that wouldn't love that.
John,
that'll be in 2021. We're going to reunite the Soul Touches on Zoom or at LRP Studios, whichever.
I hope so.
And
John, let me ask you this.
Okay, right.
And it's really on my mind. Like, seriously. Think about the night that me and you talked. And Steve, I'm going to put this in perspective.
Okay.
We had just wrestled. John wrestled.
Yep.
I wrestled.
I remember when John wrestled. I saw John.
And we were in that small warehouse.
That small, tiny locker room.
My basement is bigger than that locker room.
Yeah.
And trust me, this old house is very small.
That's the truth.
I want to know, and not just saying this particular moment, but there was a moment when you walked up to me before I became Uncle Red.
Yeah.
And you said, hey, C, I'm getting ready to start my own promotion. At that point, did you know that what was in your head and in your heart going to take off like it has. I mean, with the partnerships, us being on Power for You, Fight TV, Amazon Prime. Tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, go to Amazon Prime. Watch us see this pretty face.
See me talk about that pretty face.
Whatever. Did you have any idea?
You know, for about 2 years before I came to you, I've had this in the works, in the plans. Not the partnerships, but the idea of what I wanted to do with Chris.
Okay.
But I have to say this. I knew that if I had the right crew of people that I've always wanted to work with and have the staff and the people who believed in us and backed us and supported us, that there was no way in hell anything can stop us with the teamwork, the effort, and the belief in ourselves to create what we did. I do this every single day. People want to know, like, what's my schedule like. I would literally sometimes go to bed 3 a.m. I wake up at 6 a.m., maybe 7, and start all over. And talk to businesses, talk to business owners. I not only just wrestling, I talk to my fellow local business owners here in town. And not to sales pitch them Chicagoland, but get to know them as fellow community people and know what their struggles are and what they're going through. And trying to find a program in a way that we could help them as well as they could help us. And to me, knowing and rewind back when me and you talked, I knew that you were the very first person I hired. Very first person. When I tell this to anybody, you were employee number 1 before anyone else.
Patient zero.
Literally, he was number 1, first person.
Hey, you heard that. Let the man talk. You heard him.
Yeah.
Let him talk.
And I told my wife this, and Chris as well, before Chris passed away. I said the best. I said, having read with his experience and my experience too, but his experience of being in the Chicago area, the people, everybody that he knows, he knows who's a good talent. He knows who's a crap talent. He knows that when you have a potential chance to have a good draw and a potential chance to fold your cards and wait it out. And I knew when you came on board and you joined up with us, we already were pressing that steam engine just the right way. And then the cards just fell in place. It's like one of those weird Cinderella stories. You can scout talent, and that's what I did for about 2 years. I scouted talent. I went to locker rooms. I sit that back. I told Damian Saint this once, that I had a wrestling match with him as a referee, and I did things on purpose during the match to see if he caught on as a referee, and he would give me feedback, because a good wrestling referee will always provide feedback. And what did he do? Provide feedback. And I knew exactly right then and there he was one of the referees I wanted to work with me, because he was professional. And he dressed the part, he looked the part, and he carried himself. And same thing with two count Lou and everybody else that were top of the line. Knowing what we know now and pushing forward, my main goal was to have a great show that the fans in the community that hasn't seen wrestling in 12 years. Pro wrestling hasn't been in Michigan City for literally 12 years.
12 years?
12 years.
God.
The last promotion ruined the entire town on wrestling. So not only did I have to build a promotion, I had to actually help rebuild back a community that was jaded on pro wrestling. And I think I did a good job, and I'm looking forward to doing even a better job in 2021.
Timeout on the field.
You think you did a good job?
I like to think I did.
You think? Dude, again, I'm not literally blowing smoke up your butt, but me and Steve talked about this. Dude. And I I can't, most people will say kissing bud or whatever. I don't care. This is my show. Y'all like it? Cut it off. Anyway, dude, from the moment, because I'm going to be honest, I was waiting for that Facebook message. I was waiting for that text that it wasn't going to happen. I was waiting.
Of course.
I went to pick up Jamie. And on the way to the show, we're talking. But my mind is like, okay. Now, the funny part is the first time when we did the interview in the studio, it didn't seem like a long drive. And maybe that's because my GPS, oh my God, it had me going through every backwood, around, inside a trench, outside a trench. I'm like, oh my God. This time it was pretty good, no issues, straight highway. But it just took forever. So my mind is wandering. Jamie's talking. My mind is wandering. And I kept thinking,
Forgive the dogs. I'm the one that let them out.
Oh, you're fine.
who let the dogs
The
out?
dogs
It was me. It was me.
This jerk. Anyway, to get there and to see off the bat, you were ready. Screen checks, temperature checks. Everybody was spaced out. We was all good. The only people that were bunched together at that time when I got there were the folks in the ring, because they were going over everything. Again, I've been doing this for 18 years now. The first thing that I'm not going to say I wanted to cry because that sounds like I'm a softie, but it did make it a little bit emotional for me, is when you let the fans in early due to the weather.
Yeah.
Normally promoters don't do that. Dude, going back to Ring of Honor, I stood outside when it's been raining. You know what I'm saying? My car is a mile and a half away. I'm not walking back to my car. Dude, you let the fans in early. I was like, wow, I'm struck. You grieve. Oh my God. So when I did Dennis's show, he noticed the same thing too. So I bet Steve noticed it also. What promoter walks fans to their seats?
There's only one.
None, except for John Bullard.
That guy.
Most promoters, they stand in the back, they observe, if something happens, they deal with the issue. It was like, wow, like mind blowing. Like, you have a show to put on.
Yeah.
But now, here's the thing that I love you for. You didn't have to worry about the show because you had people like me.
Yep.
People like Marche.
Yep.
People like Chris.
Yep.
You had all these different pieces where we took care of whatever was needed backstage.
And it was set up by design for that.
And I get it, but still, to see, most people would have been like, okay, I can take a breather now before the show starts. But again, you didn't. You walked each and every, whether it was one fan, two fans, a group of 4, a group of 10, you walked them all to their seats. It was like, oh my God, like, who does that?
Right.
Like,
sending thank you notes with ticket purchases, I think, is something that I've never done before in my life.
Didn't I just mention that? Like, if it wasn't last week, it was the week before.
Yep.
Like, who does that? Who, it's one thing to mail the tickets out, but to get a thank you letter, like, hey, thank you, I appreciate what you purchasing these tickets. Like, and I get it. A good friend of the whole show, I should say, Stacy.
Yeah.
She is the epitome of pay it forward.
Absolutely.
And if nothing else, so shout out to Stacy Sparkles. Hey, Stacy. Hey. That's what I feel you're doing in your own way. And I commend you so much for doing it, because if I paid my money to come see you or come see your product, and you take the time out, think about it. If you owned, think about it, you guys' favorite restaurants, whatever they may be, when do you actually ever see the owner, if it's not a small mom and pop restaurant or family owned business, how often do you see the owner come out, greet customers, say hello? That normally doesn't happen.
It's just not that kind of world anymore, and it's a damn shame. The best restaurants are the ones where the owner comes out and asks you how the food are. You always get them in those Greek breakfast places where you're having an omelet that's as big as your head, and you can't believe you're only paying $5 for this omelet. And this little Greek man comes out and says, "How did you enjoy your meal?" That makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you're appreciated as a person that's a patron, and it makes you want to come back. And that's the kind of thing that is so good for this business as it plays forward. Every human being that was in that arena on October 3rd will likely be there on April 17th. And assuming that the restrictions are lifted, there'll be more people that have seen it on Fight, Powered 4, or Amazon Prime that will say, well, I really want to see this live. This looks really good. So you go from a modest, socially distanced crowd, which was still huge looking on TV, the way Xavier shot it, it was well shot, and you can see we had as many people in there as we humanly possibly could, given the conditions. But I think going forward, the crowd is going to double, if not triple in size, because I think the interest is there, and it's the little things, the personal touches, the quality of the entertainment, the amount of time and energy that people spend doing their jobs. We're starting to see on the private page, all the new promos for upcoming stuff are starting to show up, and we're starting to see them here and there. And with each video, whether it be Ewok making the production quality otherworldly, or the crazy renegades that are the Youth Gone Wild, completely blowing the roof off the game and raising the bar for everybody, that is stuff that I have never been able to understand in the years that I've been doing this. Everybody has a smartphone. Everybody has their own little TV studio. It takes nothing to look at your phone and add some storyline to what you're doing.
Just make sure you hold your phone like this and you're good.
C-Red was dogging me on commentary. So when I come on April 17th, I'm going to get C-Red. So it's nothing. It takes 38 seconds to do something, and it adds to the content and the quality of what you're trying to put out there. It adds to the heat. It's a very simple activity. You don't have to be a professional to shoot a good promo, because you have a studio in your damn hands all the time. So I don't understand.
I do have one thing to say before Red torches you on something, because I know that's about to happen. Every cell phone, every cell phone today, the iPhones and the Androids that are all up to date, the camera quality is amazing. Hold your phones, if you're going to use your phone, if you have cameras, that's even better. But if you're going to use your phone camera, hold it horizontal, record the widescreen fill. And here's the thing too, if you go on your Google Play stores and look up different apps that are for editing software for films, you can literally make a movie just using your cell phone, and it'll look like $1 million. And I actually don't mind actually teaching a class on to anybody who's actually wanting to learn this stuff. I'll sit down and show people move for move how you can cut, edit, splice, and put stuff together using your cell phone and create a great promo.
There's an app called Video Shop on the iTunes, on the iPhone app, that I did all the GPW promos back before GPW went away, and we had videos premiering twice a week to build up our shows, and I think that helped us draw. Go ahead, Red.
First of all, where can I sign up for a said class?
It will definitely be in
I'm just saying.
it'll definitely be in our personal group that we all part.
I'm trying. Trust me. I sent you the video again, and it
was
took
good.
me. I was just trying something. I mean, I know how to work a camera. I know, but as far as I've never gotten to the editing part and all of that.
Yeah.
But I must say,
You're going to send that video to John, and he's going to make it look great.
Well, I already sent it to him.
Yeah,
See,
it's going to look great.
Now, first of all, Mr. Steve, again, everybody can't cut a good promo.
Well, this is true.
I'm just being honest.
You're right. That was a bit of a statement.
But that's, again, another notch on John's belt. Look at the crew that he has assembled. And oh my God, some days I get tired of y'all. I'm being honest. I'm just saying. Because it's so much content that's coming out almost every day. I'm not gonna lie. You've gone wild today. Oh my God. Like, really? I never saw that coming.
Raised the bar quite a bit.
So first of all, hold on.
Yep.
So for me to see Larkin's video, I was impressed. I was like, oh,
he walks great.
Okay. You're not gonna get no tea from me. Anyway. Then to turn around and see you've gone wild. If you've seen Tully's, it's like everybody is trying to step up. And that is one of the things. I mean, think about it. How many companies do we know? Just in Chicago. I'm not talking about worldwide. I'm not talking about nationwide. Chicago-wide. How many companies do we know we haven't heard anything from since the pandemic?
There have been a lot of them.
Now, what has Chicagoland done? Not only did we run a show, not only is on Fight for You, Power for You, Fight, Amazon Prime, and already starting to build momentum to April with the first match being announced, and I wonder who was in that. Anyway, we are like, dude, I feel like, remember you used to watch those old cartoons, and all three of us are pretty well seasoned, as I was told by Renee Van Peebles earlier. We're well seasoned.
We are well seasoned.
So, remember those old cartoons where the damsel in distress was tied to the track, and the evil man with the mustache and the black top hat was
totally right.
And he's driving the train, and you wonder, when is Superman or whoever, the hero on the white horse, is going to come in and save the day. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This train, full steam ahead. The coal is all in. If you don't get off the track, we ain't stopping. You're going to be damaged goods. I'm just saying. And here's what I'm loving. I already know within my heart. And if anybody want to talk to me about it, you can DM me, or you can call me on my phone if you got my number, or send an email, smoke signal. I don't give a damn. In April, we're going to do the damn thing one more time. I just know it. Because it's almost like going to a fight and somebody switches, like one of my favorite movies in the world ever is West Side Story.
Yep.
And remember, it was supposed to be Bernardo. It was supposed to be that one-on-one fight, right? Him and Riff. One-on-one. Fight, skin to skin. And then here come the blade. Well, for all you Riffs out there, we ain't got no blade. We got a damn M60. I'm
That's
just
good.
saying. I'm just saying. How can, dude, with this group of guys, and that's the other thing with the guys, Youth Gone Wild, Marche Rocket, the champ. Let's talk about the champ, Chris.
Chris Logan.
You know,
Yeah.
Chris Logan. I mean, come on. The Garrison Creed. I mean, come on. With the roster we have, then the talent exchange coming in from Louisiana, Mexico State.
The Chicago connection.
Yeah, let's not forget those guys, unfortunately.
Whatever.
John Hudson's a special kind of talent. Look out.
Yes.
John Hudson. Where did John Hudson, what was he last, Steve?
I know exactly where John Hudson started, so you don't have to educate me there.
Hold on, Mom. I can't hear you.
I was there.
Oh, okay, you were there.
I was there.
Okay.
I thought.
So anyway, with the talent that John Bullard and his office have put together, I've never seen talent mesh so well. I mean, so again, I don't think we had any instances, at least on not my side of the locker room. I don't know about the other side, and I'm being honest. But on my side, everybody got along. No issues, no problems. If there was problems in the match, the guys was like, "Oh, my bad, didn't mean to do that," or you okay? Everybody took care of everybody, and that's, as a worker, that's what you want. You want to feel like I belong. And
Yes.
I've heard John say many a times, he doesn't want to put viruses in locker rooms. He doesn't want to bring human COVIDs to people's places of business.
Yeah.
If you understand my scenario that I just dropped on that.
And just put this out there, I've actually told a lot of those human viruses don't show up. Because I had a lot of them hit me up for bookings. And there's some really good talent. Some great talent.
I'm sure your phone has been blowing up.
Oh, yeah. Crazy.
I mean, dude, I'm sure once you announce that, first of all, I'm sure your phone was already going off the hook before all of this. Just, it's another company. Oh, I want to try to be part of the roster. Okay. Now people have found out. Hold on. They own what? They doing who? They going what? And then now you just announced this partnership over the past week or so. I'm sure your phone ain't stopped ringing. I'm sure your wife is probably at times mad at you. Like, cut it off.
I do. Before we go to sleep, that's the first thing it goes off. I turn that phone off. Yeah. No.
But it's like, so I have to applaud you, man, that, and to say that you did, yes, come on, Steve, clap, act like you're right. You can clap for real. Don't give him no, really.
Golf clap.
Right.
Bravo.
He, think about it. So I didn't know that, again, you've had this plan 2 years before, even, talking to me, and was scouting talent. And it's like, because I'm going to be honest, some of the guys I had never heard of. And once I saw them, like, I'm going to be honest, that whole, come on, somebody help me. I'm having an old man moment.
Zeke
Paragon?
There you go.
Paragon.
Oh, my God. Once we got done and I got home, one of the first things I did, Facebook friend request.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
And I looked at his stuff.
He's the real deal.
No, dude, he is one of the reasons why I love this business.
Yeah.
He has taken his character and he has absorbed it. And so many times, I've had many people, and hopefully I'll still get to do it at some point. People always want to bring me in because they talk about character development. because guys, they'll come up with a character and it does nothing, you know. It's just them in a pair of trunks or tights and some boots. And it, to me, that hurts the business because your character is what gets you, you know. It's what sells, you know. I understand, guess what? John Travolta, you know, you might not really like John Travolta. For me, I was hooked on Welcome Back, Kotter.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of his character, Vinny Barbarino.
Yep.
You
Good
know,
character.
then when he went and did Pulp Fiction, you know, and I know I'm skipping some years, but
Just
still,
a little. A few.
just a few. But it was like, again, now here's Vinny. Oh, I'm hooked again. It's about the character you play. Anybody, think about it. Anybody can be an actor. Anybody. All you gotta do is memorize the line. It's how you deliver is what separates you from everybody else.
Yes.
I had never seen Paragon work, and the minute he walked out and hit that mic, I was looking at him going, my God, he is a cross between Prince and Shawn Michaels. And it was breathtaking.
I said Prince and Rick James.
Well,
but we're on the same page here, but you know.
And, you know, on every form and every list I had ever gotten as I was researching commentary, I heard him referred to as Paragon KJ. So on commentary, that's what I'm calling him. And he heard me on commentary, and he shot shade right at me, which immediately brought us into the match. So he had the wherewithal to take what was a mistake, an honest one, and made it part of the show, which I think that kind of quick thinking and that kind of timing, you can't teach that. That either have that or you don't have it. And he's got it.
I'll say this about him. He's a once in a lifetime performer. That's developing. And the thing is, he only has I think 2 years in the business. Think about that. 2 years he's only been in the business, if I am correct.
That's not possible.
That's scary.
No.
That's scary.
That's
he hasn't even hit his. Think about this, guys. He hasn't even hit his peak or his prime yet. That's what makes me excited about having him on board.
Oh my
when
God.
that happens, it's magic. The same thing with a lot of these guys. And I want to give a little booking philosophy. A lot of people ask me, why do I book a lot of guys they consider kind of unknowns or guys that got overlooked? The thing is, when you get a very known wrestler, the entire world has seen him. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's the unknowns that are your future stars of wrestling. They're the guys that, if given the ball to run, they're so hungry because they've been overlooked for so long that when you give them that chance, they'll go out there and they'll kill it every single time because they know if they don't, they can get replaced. And that's their biggest fears. They don't want to be replaced. They want to be remembered. So what they'll do, they'll go out there and they'll give people memories. And they'll give people moments. And they'll work hard for what they have. And they'll build that reputation because that's all every wrestler wants to be known for. You know, their reputation alone gets them the bookings. You know, you look at, and I'll say this about, Miles Mercer. One of the most talented guys I've ever stepped in the ring with. I had a chance to wrestle with him. Amazing talent. And he's just one of those guys. He's one match away from being a big breakout star anywhere across the country. I think his feud with Yo-Yo is money because they had such a match. When people watched the show, that was one of the first things they mentioned to me was your opening card match blew the roof off that house because it was so good. They didn't try to do 5 million moves. They just told a great story, and it really was a battle. And it got the fans into the show. And it continued on. I think Miles is a huge breakout star. Yoga is starting to get bookings all over the country. And his pedigree deserves, the nod of being he's only like 21, 22, 23 years old. He's a young kid himself. He's got the world ahead of him. Jackson P. Larkin, a rookie in the business and automatically is like becoming one of the most hated guys in Chicagoland. Just a matter of time, he'll be a big player. Braven Fett is like Chicagoland Sting. You know, there's so many of these guys that just there's so much potential for everyone. Go ahead, Red.
Tully, I'm doing a show. Stop it. Stop it, Tully. I'm not
Totally.
gonna plug you. I'm not gonna plug the Sin City Playboys. No, stop it. Stop it. Stop blowing up
we're one show in, and I'm already exhausted of the Sin City Playboys. Just absolutely exhausted.
Oh my God! Like he's talking, and my phone is blowing up
Yeah,
because it's
same
Tully.
here. Same here. Hey man, remember plug this in my gym. Okay,
I'm just saying, you know, like
Mr. Made for
my
TV,
God.
he's something.
Right, but not this TV. Good Lord, you ain't paid for this.
What you said about talent, maybe the unknown talent, getting an opportunity and making a name for himself. Like any show, your show had issues where some of the booked talent were unable to make it.
Yes.
And you had to adjust on the fly, as is often the case in many places. And you had people that aren't the most known in the world come in and become impact players. And, you know, obviously the COVID situation with the Gotch brothers was incredibly disappointing because we all we're looking forward to that match, Youth Gone Wild versus the Gotch brothers. You know, the heat was there, it was time, and we were disappointed that they weren't there. But Axel Rico and Jake Painter came in at the last minute to continue the match to give Youth Gone Wild someone to fight. And for not having tagged very often and for coming in, I thought they were fantastic at what they did. And I feel like that's a tag team that should be on the up and coming list because they gave Youth Gone Wild. It wasn't a squash match. They gave Youth Gone Wild all they could handle for a lot of that match. I mean, obviously Youth Gone Wild definitively won in the end, but that was anything but a squash match. And I thought that acquitted both of those guys spectacularly.
Absolutely.
Also in the Johnny Nye match, the sugar in the gas tank situation, as we came to find out with Chris Jones. But then all of a sudden, John Bullard pulls the ace out of his sleeve, and you have Gunner Brave put out one of the best performances of the night against Johnny Nye. Now, he wasn't successful in winning either. You know, Bo Anderson had something to say about that. But the point is, these three men were not even on the show, and they came in and made the most of their opportunities. So, you know, it would be hard for me to not want to see Axel and Jake and Gunner Brave again because they were phenomenal in what they did and coming in kind of at the last minute. So that shows to me that you know the talent in this industry and you always have a backup plan, which I think a lot of promoters, you know, they have to scramble sometimes to get the quality of matches when the unexpected happens. And I think that says a lot about CCW as well, because although some unfortunate circumstances occurred, you met every challenge. Our audio on commentary got screwed up, but we overcame it. The situation with the captioning, you know, it's another thing. It's another thing. You know, it's something you weren't expecting, but now it's been overcome. And John, I think that's your greatest asset is that when you get blocked on your path, you don't sit there and lament about the blockage. You're thinking about how you're going to get around it or over it. And I think that's what makes you successful.
I think he's already, again, think about it. You said it earlier. He already has plans in place in case that doesn't happen.
Exactly.
Or if something does happen, I should say. And here's the crazy part. Think of all the guys he could have reached out and asked to be on the show. He could have, I'm sure, again, he probably had a phone book list. Hey, well, if there's nothing this time, you know, remember me the next time or whatever. Yeah. And he could have easily just picked whatever. The guys he picked came in and did their job. And again, it shows to what an eye for talent John Bullard has. And again, I can't wait to see the things that he does in 2021, unless he's got, it's only 30 days left for the year, unless he got another trick up his sleeve.
Oh, look at you.
You know, and by the way, guys, my birthday's in 29 days. Just thought I should drop that.
We'll have a big birthday bash for you.
2021, I mean, again, I see us taking this locomotive all, you know, just straight through. We broke the brakes, ladies and gentlemen. This train is running.
It's not stopping.
Don't stand on the tracks.
John, I wanted to ask you, obviously the show has been out for public consumption for a couple of weeks now on Powered 4 TV in England, based out of England, and now Fight TV, and then, momentarily Amazon Prime. Have you gotten feedback from the folks at Powered 4 TV and Fight? What are people saying to you about the show? I mean, have you had mostly positive? Is there some negative? I mean, where have you been at as far as what you've been told by these people?
So far, nothing but positive reviews. And, and I'm a person, like, I will ask for critiques on things, how to improve the product. And, already watching the show myself multiple times, I'll pinpoint stuff that I'll see and be like, okay, next show, let's improve this, or let's upgrade this, or make things better. One of the best quotes I've gotten from the guys in England. One of them, John Scott, said himself on his podcast. He said, "Chicagoland Championship Wrestling is studio wrestling with a cinematic film style. It's not trying to make you feel like you're back in the 1980s. It's modern day wrestling that faces the modern day world with the modern day problems." And we try to give wrestling fans who are not big fans of comedy wrestling, not big fans of the ultra glitz and glamour of wrestling, but wrestling. They come to see a story being told. They want to have the big fight atmosphere. They want to feel like, almost like a boxing mentality. And that's if you kind of look at how I approached the show, it kind of had the boxing mentality where the lights were dimmed and Greg Hansen would ring announce guys once both were in the ring to give everyone the big fight feel. And I've always loved that little light above the ring that glows, and smoke-filled ballroom type thing. And people have fell in love with that. They fell in love with guys that they never heard of before, but now they want to know them. They want to get to know them. And the guys in Powered 4 are looking forward to interviewing our talent to the UK market, to introduce everyone to the Marches of the world, the Chris Logans, Garrisons, You've Gone Wild, No Coast, Yoya, Miles, Red, even yourself, Steve. They want to get to know everyone who's part of this. And the Powered 4 TV guys, we're going to actually create additional content for their network alone that won't be seen on Fight or on Amazon, because the loyalty that they have shown to us. They're one of the first platforms that really believe in what we're doing. And I'm a firm believer, when someone believes in you and they work hard and they're endorsing you and they're putting your product out there, you do your absolute best to give back to them tenfold. That's how you build a successful partnership. And to me, having Fight TV, coming up soon, I'm looking forward to how people react to Amazon Prime, the subscribers there. So far, everything's been really good. I know with the next show coming up, I'm looking to improve it even better for what we can do. And I want to give an amazing shout out to Xavier Camacho, who recorded our show.
He's
edited our show.
A damn wizard.
I'll use an old wrestling thing with this. The Von Erichs had Dallas, Texas. It was Southwest Sports. And there was a film producer named Mickey Grant who came on board and created world-class championship wrestling that everyone talks about. Mickey created modern-day wrestling television. Mickey, by the way, is a big fan of Chicagoland Championship Wrestling. He's seen our show. He gave me and Xavier critiques. of things that he liked and things that we can improve on. But all in all, he said it best. He said, I love your film style. This is like a movie come to life for wrestling. And the stories that are being told is a story of struggle. And he fell in love with it. Xavier Camacho is the Mickey Grants of Chicagoland Championship Wrestling. You know, the pieces of the puzzle. You put pieces of the puzzle together to show the portrait. He's a big part of that puzzle. You know, I could hire any other film guy. And there's a lot of good film companies out there that can record. Damn good. But he's got lightning in the bottle. There's something about the way he records shows and the different film styles that he can do. You know, the way that you watch Grapple Masters isn't the only way he can film it. But that's the way I wanted to film. I wanted that cinematic feel to it. Because the first time I ever saw cinematic wrestling, he grabbed my attention. I'm like, this is so different. It makes you feel like you're right in the ring. Or when referee's going down for the count, he's counting. You're right behind the referee, feel like you're counting the 3 count right along with him. You know, you see the sweat pouring off. The cameras had the boom mics on them. So when someone got chopped, you heard that chop echo, you know, and you felt it at your house. And that's the best feeling in the world. Xavier Camacho gave that to us and deserves so much credit. You know, yeah, it was Marche and Logan chops back and forth were brutal. But, you know, everybody in this company pulled their weight. It's not just, you know, me running around my head cut off like a chicken like most promoters do. You know, I have guys like Red working as an agent. I have you, Steve, helping us out with production and commentary and getting things taken care of. Another huge piece of the puzzle, Michael Allen, that a lot of people overlook. Michael Allen and me will stay up till 4 a.m. on Zoom, putting the show together, putting both our booking minds. He was a good booker himself. And I'll always give him credit. He's one hell of a booker. But me and him put both our minds together to create a television format, to create a format that makes people want to watch a good wrestling show and to develop stars. 2021, 2022, I already have plans for 2025 of how many guys I want to see make their way up, and then another group of wrestlers on the way down to it, and just to develop all those things. And, you know, guys, I'm taking a look at it right now. I don't know if you guys folks can see this on my phone. The things glitch out. Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently now on Amazon Prime.
Oh,
there you go.
Hold on.
We are ready to rock and roll. But
Amazon. Oh no, that's shopping.
But Michael Allen and me, you know, we put together these things that we see talent that we wanted to work with, and just to have that team format, that mentality, I think is what has helped us become successful. And when I looked at promoting, and I had previous experience as a promoter, but I always look at things like a coach and team mentality. There we are. Yeah. You can watch it on your phone, watch it on TV, on the computer. You can watch it everywhere.
You don't even understand.
There it is.
I'm about to sit up here as soon as we're done, which is we'll be in shortly. I'm going to go upstairs to my little hole in the wall. And on my big screen TV, I'm going to take that remote. And on that remote, it has a couple of buttons, but it has one button that says Prime Video. Boop.
Boop. Boop.
And I know what I will be watching today on Tuesday, because there's nothing really on TV. So no football, no wrestling. So
hey, this show will be on in a little bit.
But it's got you on it. So I mean, you know. But I am like flabbergasted. I mean, did you just, hey, stop. Before people start, then people want us to play the whole show. And no. How about next week we give our review of the whole show? How about that? Okay.
There you go.
We'll definitely do something like that. John, before we let you go and before we wrap this package, give the people out there one small preview of 2021. Tell them something maybe they don't know about what's going through your mind about next year. Just tease something, no matter how small, just to give somebody something, because we're ending 2020. It's a bit of a grind, and people are not in the greatest headspace. But if they know that the positivity is right around the corner, I think that will make people happy. And I think people need to know that Chicagoland Championship Wrestling is here. It's now, and it's going to lead the way.
One little thing I could kind of drop, kind of tease.
Tease it.
You know what? I think I'll make this announcement on here. This has been a good show for announcements, folks.
Yeah, it's just packed.
Be quiet. He's talking.
The one feud that has been the most consistent one that we've had is Gotch versus You've Gone Wild.
Yes.
I mean, it's turned into a blood feud. Let's just be honest. It's straight up. It's turned into, we're going to mock these guys into the point of rubbing their family's name into the ground. I already talked to Joey and Jacob personally on the phone. They're pissed.
It's a
they're
blood.
Looking to.
It's
they're
a
looking to hurt
blood feud.
They're looking to hurt these boys. There is no more playing. They're looking to drop them. My partner in Mexico has been wanting to do something a little cool, and I'm about to drop this. The winner of the April 17th match between You've Gone Wild and the Gotch brothers will then become the #1 contender to challenge the IWRG Tag Team Champions in Mexico, Marche Rocket and Bryce Benjamin, who has won those titles in Mexico in their last big trip to the country south of the border. In our August show, whoever wins will have the chance to take on the IWRG Tag Team Champions at Chicagoland. And for the very first time ever in American history, those tag belts, who had a very long lineage in wrestling, will be defended in the United States for the very first time. One of those combinations against Bryce and Marche is a show stiller.
Bryce Benjamin and Marche Rocket as a tag team coming to Chicagoland Championship Wrestling in 2021, and they will put their titles on the line against the winner of the April 17th blood feud between Youth Gone Wild and the Gotch brothers. If that's not a reason to feel pretty darn good about where wrestling is going in 2021, you better ask yourself what you really want out of this business, because it doesn't get any bigger. It doesn't get any better than that. Christ, the first time in American history, we had the first ever Chicagoland Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Champion crowned in October. And now you're going to defend Mexican titles on American soil in August. What the hell, John Bullard?
Yeah.
What the hell?
And there's
more.
There's more. Also, who will be debuting with us very soon is someone who's part of Mexican Wrestling Dynasty, whose family has been seen on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown for years.
No.
But hey, he's a cousin of one of the biggest superstars, and this is a legit shoot. But we'll make that announcement when time is coming. Like I said, guys,
is what
when I say we got plans going full circle and plowing through, we got those plans.
You gonna make me drink this whole bottle tonight?
Yeah, I would have a drink right along with you. I was there, Red.
John Bullard, here's to you. Here's to 2021. Here is to the joy that Chicagoland Championship Wrestling, now available on Amazon Prime, also on Fight TV and Powered for TV. John, it's been a pleasure talking to you tonight. Thank you for sharing this amazing stuff with us about the future of a company that we both support 100,000%. It's been a pleasure having you. Thanks for taking your time. Thanks for dropping breaking news on our show. We appreciate that. I can't tell you. And my God, man, keep doing what you're doing, because wherever you lead, we will follow.
You know what? I couldn't ask for a better group of folks to work with us. This might be my final appearance on any form of talk shows coming up for 2020. I want to take myself a little break away from it, but I want to say this to everybody, my closing statement. 2020 was a rough year for all of us. But I want to say this. I am beyond grateful for every single one of the people who work in this company. That's from staff that works in the office, is like you and yourself or Fred, guys I can talk to on a daily basis about business, folks like Michael Allen, who's right there with us in that building, blocks of putting this all together, the roster that we have, the referees, the security crew, our great ring announcer, Greg Hansen, who deserves so much praise for what that man has done.
The man is amazing.
He does a lot of things that deserves to be mentioned and will be soon. But everything that we have formed has been a team. And I couldn't ask for a better group of people. If I had my drink with me, I would definitely say salute. But I will say this, I salute every one of you guys and girls that works with us. I couldn't ask for a better team to put 3 letters on the back of anyone with CCW. And I couldn't do it without you guys. And so from the bottom of my heart and for my family, thank you.
Well, I don't think we need to say anything else other than we will talk to you next time on the Steve Red Power Hour. And don't miss us, April 17th, Michigan City, Indiana, Grapple Masters Volume 2 coming soon. And check out the original Grapple Masters on Fight TV, Howard 4 TV, and now, as of tonight, Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
For John Bullard and C Red, I'm Steve Arendt. Have a great holiday season, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Good night, everybody.
Go watch it right now. Stop. Cut this off. You've seen this show.